Crazy Style here on Foodie TV. You're gonna learn how to make regular plates into wild, amazing, crazy dishes. I'm gonna take you on the road of Alaska. We're gonna travel to places near and far, get to the restaurants and to the home cooks there and have them teach us what makes them fun and crazy too. This place is huge, so there's gonna be a lot of area to cover. You're gonna love it. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Cooking Crazy Style with Molly B. So today, I'm very glad you tuned in because we're gonna make some salmon. Now being from Alaska, salmon is by far the best than anywhere else. Sorry, it's true, don't be mad. You know it's true too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just whip up a quick fillet. Being in Alaska, literally everyone has salmon in their freezer. I got this salmon because my friend's freezer was so full, she had nowhere else to put it. So she was like, do you want some? And I'm like, yeah, because I haven't had time to fish, and I love to fish. So one time I totally caught a 65-pound king salmon on the Kenai River in Alaska. It was awesome. Should have been there. So here's my awesome fillet. Da, da, da. The thing about salmon that's really important to know is it cooks super fast, like super fast. So you want to make sure that you're ready when it's ready to go, because if not, then things go bad. So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna take my butter, because everything I do starts with butter. That's just the rules in my life. So my mom taught me that. We used to actually have a joke that our mom actually did her laundry in butter. So now this oil, it's good to combine oil and butter both. This oil actually is infused with garlic, which does not make me mad in any way. All right, so we're gonna melt this up, and then I'm gonna add some soy sauce. Now what you also wanna do, if you wanna take a little bit of, I'm just gonna poke some holes in this. If you wanna take a little bit of the fishy flavor out of your salmon, which I'm not huge into fishy flavor. I don't like a lot of fishy flavor in my salmon. So what I do is I just add a little bit of soy sauce and let it sit there, sometimes up to like a half an hour, and actually that completely takes it makes it a little bit of salty, obviously, but it also completely takes out the issue of having it super fishy, which is great. The other thing to do to not make your salmon super fishy, honestly, don't overcook it. The more you cook it, it's like shrimp. If you cook it and cook it and cook it, it not only gets rubbery and gross, but it gets really fishy. Who wants our fish to taste like fish, right? Am I right? Do you hear what I'm saying here? All right, so now next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some brown sugar, because I wanna make some caramelized situations. Dark brown sugar, not light. There's a lot of people who don't know this, but dark brown sugar has molasses in it. Like extra molasses thing. But we cannot forget one of the #1 things. Guess what that is? It's garlic. Woo, Lord! So I like a lot of garlic. I'm not gonna mess around. So here we go. There's the garlic. And we're gonna mix that in again. This is gonna cook super, super fast, so that's why I'm going super, super fast. Now over here, I just tossed in some celery pieces, some apple chunks, and we're just gonna mess this, and then even some walnuts. We're just gonna put this in here. Bam, bing, bong, boom, just so it can be a little bit more fun. And we're gonna mix up all these flavors with it. Doesn't that sound delicious? Oh my gosh, if you guys could smell it in here right now. Now, one thing that a lot of people are afraid of, and don't be crazy, this is why Molly's Cooking Crazy Style, because you want to be able to mess with your pan a little bit. This isn't gonna flip for me, of course, because I'm filming it. Oh, there it is. You want to be able to flip it around, and then just kind of toss it all around. All right, so now, you guys, I think it's time. So I'm just gonna get this all out of the way here. And I'm gonna put this down. First I'm gonna smush it all around in all the sauce, because that's where the good stuff is, right? Am I right? So just smush it around in all this sauce, the yummy stuff, and flip it over. Now, skin side down, and we're just gonna let that do its thing. We can move this thing. It's not real hot, so I can use my fingers because I'm crazy like that, because I'm Cooking Crazy Style. So we're gonna do all this, and then I'm gonna get a lid, and I'm gonna cover it. And we're just gonna let it steam down. Awesome. And then we're gonna add a little bit of booze, because why not, right? Am I right? All right, so now we're just gonna throw this lid on here, and we're gonna let this just sit for probably, honestly, no more than like 3.5 to 4 or 5 minutes. And, you know, as you like it. Like I'm very estimated. Like I did a half of an apple, I did like 12 pieces of walnuts, and I did like 2 half stalks of celery. So I guess that would equal 1 stalk of celery. So while that's cooking, you can see here it's starting to bubble a little bit and it's starting to steam. That's exactly what we want it to do. Now to top this off, I'm gonna just add a little bit of brandy to it because it's gonna cook off anyway. It has to get to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time for brandy to cook off. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that on there. See how that's all coming together and caramelizing and it's starting to cook? I'm not mad. So shake it up a little bit. And you can also scoop some of this delicious stuff and put it on top again. You know how you do. Woo, woo, woo. This little spoon is, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And we're gonna let it go for a little bit longer. All right. Okay, as you can see, it's still cooking a little bit here. See how you can see that it's a little bit redder in the middle, which means it's still raw. Now, some people would want to eat it like this, but I like it done all the way, so I'm gonna just let it cook some more. But we'll go ahead and put some more of the sauce on top because that sauce is where it's at. Look at that. The garlic. See how the garlic is just kind of staying there because it's starting to caramelize. Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here. Wish you were here, but not really because I'm gonna eat this. All right, so we'll let that sit there a little bit longer. It should be super, super delicious. I love going fishing. When I was a kid, like it was so fun for us all as a family to get out on the Kenai River and go fishing. The Kenai River in Alaska is really cool because it's the #1 place to get the biggest king salmon in the whole world. I have friends that have caught over 60 and 70 pound king salmon. They are delicious. Now a lot of fish, if you get the smaller fish, are actually better, but with king salmon, they just seem to get better and better to me. I don't know. Now let me tell you though, there's so many species of salmon, but there's one that's out. I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm just gonna tell you this. Don't eat the pink salmon. We call them humpies here, and nobody likes them. Like literally, they're like really mushy and slimy, and they use them for dog food in Alaska, but I've recently seen them in grocery stores in the freezer department. They're calling it pink salmon. Avoid. Don't do that to yourself. Really, take it from me. Okay, here we go. So, now this is done. I'm gonna add a little bit of pepper because I like a little spice in my life, a little bit of salt because you can never have too much salt. Well, you can have too much salt, but not today. All right, now you can see that it's really starting to cook through. Look how flaky this is. Woo, dog, I'm excited. Hello, beautiful. Okay, it's almost done. The middle, I probably just need to let it do its thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some more of this on top while we're cooking. And we're gonna put the lid on for just a little bit longer. Now, if you need this to steam longer and you're not making a sauce in there like I did, probably add some ice cubes. And as the ice cubes melt, it'll actually steam on the inside. Here, I'll just show you. One of the tricks in order to get a salmon to steam faster, and the same with melting cheese or whatever, is you put some ice cubes in there and then that'll actually steam it for you. See how it's starting to really steam the whole entire thing? Any sort of liquid, that's why we add, some booze. I added some brandy, which is not gonna be horrible, I promise you that. Anyway, so that's the kind of the trick of getting stuff to steam without like soaking it and taking out the flavors of everything you just did, because it's gonna dilute the flavor if you do too much. So just a little bit at a time, that's why I use ice cubes. All right, so I think it's time. Here we go, opening it. Oh my gosh, this looks so divine, you guys. All right, dun 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 dun. Ba-bum bum, ba-bum bum. Look at that, you guys. And then I'm just gonna take all of this sauce that just cooked and caramelized. See, isn't that beautiful? I'm just gonna put it right on top. This is really good. You can totally have this with like rice or pasta or whatever. Look at how beautiful that is. Now some people would say that's too much, but it's never too much for me. Add a little bit of parsley on top. Now this should be super flaky and delicious. Look at how flaky that is. That is amazing. This is a perfectly cooked salmon. Look at that. We're gonna get all the zhuzh. See how tender and flaky that is? So now we're gonna get a piece of apple, some walnut in this bite, and I'm gonna take a bite. You guys, are so good. Holy crap. You don't get any. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for coming to Cooking Crazy Style. Bye. Oh, hold on. I swear I opened it yesterday. Oh, I got it. Okay, so